Hello, guys. Welcome back to the segment. I hope your day is going on well. Some more interesting stories for this video. Happy weekend to you guys, and thanks for joining back to watch this one. Let's start with the story of one man who almost joined Chelsea. As a matter of fact, at some point, he even did his medical back in Paris when he was with the Spanish team that actually won that were actually competing for the Olympics gold medal at that point, but they eventually won it. You know, good one for them. But then he was with this team, so he did his medical there after Chelsea agreed with Atletico Madrid, his parent club, for his signature. After that medical, he traveled to London to finalize the paperwork and everything. But in the end, this deal collapsed, and then he was returned back to Atletico Madrid. It's the one and only Samu Omorodion. This man is in the news, and it's for the reason that he has now joined FC Porto uh, on a on a permanent deal for for a fee that I felt was slightly cheap in a way. But again, the clause that is attached to his move is something that's going to benefit Atletico Madrid in the long run. So it's reported to be around 15 million euros for the initial transfer fee. But then Atletico Madrid are entitled to 50% sell-on clause for future sales of this man. And what this sell-on clause actually means is that in the future, if FC Porto wants to sell Samu Omorodion to another club, Atletico Madrid will be entitled to uh, earning 50% of the deal. It doesn't matter whether you're selling him for 100 million or for 50 million or for 200 million, whatever amount Porto will sell this man tomorrow. If he becomes a big star, Atletico Madrid are also going to benefit from it. So I think it's a fair deal, really, really good one. But again, the man has finally got that move. Remember, it was a bit of a hard time for him after that move fell through. After that Chelsea move fell through, because then the club was now desperate to sell him, to move him away from the club, because then they had already gotten sort of replacements in the likes of Alvarez and a few other players as well. So at that point, they started offering him to different club sides in the UK, the Arsenal, the Man City, the Liverpool, for them to buy him. But right now, he moves to this Porto side, and we wish him all the best. And of course, hope that he gets at the top of his game. But moving away from this gist, let me let you know that Coach Jose Peseiro, former head coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles, has now uh, jumped in on what people are considering a debate right now between Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman, who is the better player. Of course, in recent times, these two players have been the two Nigerians who have garnered the most popularity, the most news, or the most attention, because even right now, they are the hottest properties in the market when it comes to Nigerian Super Eagles players. Osimhen is currently in the market, is in between going to Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, PSG. Lookman as well, a hot cake right now. PSG apparently agreed a personal term with him. Arsenal are trying to get the man to sign, with their own pattern of trying to bring money plus a player deal for Atlanta to accept. But all in all, what this has exposed is the fact that these two players are the outstanding players that Nigeria has at the moment. Not that we don't have other good players, we have tons of quality players, but these two guys, the fact that lots of top clubs are fighting for these guys to get them in transfer market means a lot. It shows a lot, and Peseiro has now jumped in to talk about one or two things that he knows or that he experienced when he was coaching these two players. So in his statement, Peseiro praises these two players and talks about his experience with them. For Ademola Lookman, Peseiro said, and I quote, Ademola Lookman is more technical than Osimhen, more inclined to create the game, and who is now also scoring. He is performing very well this year. He goes on to say he grew up with the Atlanta manager Piero Gasperini. Now he is always playing, and we are happy with him. High level, he too can aspire to do great things. So Peseiro said a number of things, of course, but personally, what I'm deducing right now is the fact that Peseiro is rating Ademola Lookman above Victor Osimhen because of the reason that Lookman has started scoring goals. He said that during the time that he was opportune to be the coach of these guys for the Super Eagles, Lookman was always the most technical player. He was always the most creative one, but Osimhen was the one who gets the goal. But right now, Peseiro feels that Lookman has upped his game, in terms of knowing how to score, which makes him now a standout player. And even though he doesn't say which player he prefers or which player he thinks is the best right now. But from his statement, Peseiro is speaking Ademola Lookman ahead of Victor Osimhen. But that's just his opinion, as much as I'm also offering my opinion on these players. These two players are great players, great assets for their club side and also great assets for our national team. And their future is still heavily in doubt. Of course, Osimhen's own has been something that had gone on for a while now. Even at this moment, it feels like all parties are really tired uh, with negotiation. Napoli, Chelsea, very stubborn, both of them, not willing to reach compromise. Of course, Arsenal as well are in the picture. PSG at some point got involved as well. For these two players, it's just been very complicated and hectic transfer season for these two players. But again, we'll see what happens in the coming days, whether or not these guys are going to move away from the club side that gave them the platform to actually become, world-class players that they currently are. For me, I think they are world-class players, at this point. Osimhen, of course, leading Napoli to its first ever Scudetto trophy in 30 something years, and the third, in all their history, in all of their history. That is something, uh, that's the quality of a world class player, actually pioneering your team to, achieving such a feat like that one. And then for Ademola Lookman, we saw that last season. He reached his peak, with the Atlanta side, obviously, uh, carrying these guys almost maybe single-handedly. Of course, you might argue that, but again, they had, good players. But you cannot deny the fact that Ademola Lookman was the outstanding player for last season, and he won that trophy. He won a European Cup for Atlanta side, who had never, had the privilege of winning it in their entire, almost 120 years history, which is something really massive. And I think by doing that alone should place Ademola Lookman in my books as a world-class player currently. But we'll see what happens with these two players, of course. More updates unraveling as the transfer window edges close to a close. That's the update for this video. Don't forget to leave your reaction for this particular topic. Do you think Peseiro is right that Lookman is currently more valuable than Victor Osimhen, in terms of his ability, the ability that he has right now? Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you're just finding it for the first time, and stay tuned. More updates coming soon.